If you like horror, hit that notification bell, smash that like button, and push that subscribe button now.
What's the boogeyman?
Hello, Sydney. Welcome to my nightmare. We want the man who did this.
Welcome to Nick Push's Horror Channel.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Father's Day. I am recording this at the crack of dawn on the morning of Father's Day. So if you are a father, I hope you are enjoying yourself today and not doing what a lot of dads did on this list, and that is killing their whole goddamn families. So I'm just going to give you guys my top 10 movies for Father's Day, horror movies, that is. And what is the criteria? Well, it's just horror movies I think of where fathers have played a big role. Some of them, the fathers are evil. Some of them, the fathers play an integral part in trying to stop whatever evil is happening. So that's the criteria. It is in no particular order. So let's go through this. And as I go through this, tell me what your favorite Father's Day horror movie is down below, or tell me anything I missed. So let's go through here. Number one, like I said, no particular order. Number one is the first movie I think of, and that is The Shining. Now, The Shining is one of the greatest horror movies ever made. And obviously, Jack Nicholson playing Jack Torrance plays a huge, huge role in this movie where he just slowly loses his goddamn mind. Whether it's a hotel, whether it's always been in there, he is insane in this. And it would be crazy not to include this movie in a Father's Day horror movie list. Next up, we have Pet Sematary from 1989. Obviously, this is a very sad movie if you're talking about fathers, where not only does a family pet die in church, but Miko Hughes' Gage gets run over by a truck, and you see this image here with the father just losing his mind. And it's a lot about grief and what a father will do to get his son back. And obviously it does not end very well. I'm not going to get into the plots of all these movies or get into too many details, I should say, because some of them, if you haven't seen, I'd like you guys to experience for yourself. Next up, we have The Omen from 1976. Gregory Peck here plays the father of Damien, who is essentially the Antichrist. And it is kind of the journey of Gregory Peck trying to figure out, if his son really is the Antichrist, why all these things keep happening, and what he can do about it to stop it. So it's a lot of like psychological things as a father he has to go through, whether to believe it or not. And it's just a fantastic movie. And Gregory Peck is great as usual. He's a legend, obviously. Next up, we have one of my favorites. This is kind of a cheesy movie. It is The Stepfather, where Terry O'Quinn plays an abusive, more than abusive, a fucking murdering stepfather. And I'm going to include The Stepfather 2 in here because I love that movie too. It is cheesy, schlocky, fun, but Terry O'Quinn is great at it. And there's some really creepy moments. And it's very 80s, very ridiculous. But in my opinion, very fun. Love The Stepfather. Next up, this is one not a lot of people would think of. This is a great movie called The Autopsy of Jane Doe. And the reason I include it in a Father's Day movie is Brian Cox here works at a morgue, I think it is, and he works with his son. So it's him and his son trying to solve this mystery. So father and son together. And there's a lot of great things that happen in this movie that are very creepy. It doesn't really get talked about as much as it probably should. It's a relatively recent movie within the last 15 years or so, but there's a lot of creepy shit that goes down. And Brian Cox, he's great in everything, but he's also really great in this movie, playing the father who is kind of in charge of this morgue. Halfway through, Next, do you guys know what this movie is? Frailty, starring Bill Paxton and directed by Bill Paxton. His only director credit as a movie. And this movie is fucking fantastic. I can't ruin anything for you guys. If you haven't seen Frailty, please go see it. But the synopsis is Bill Paxton plays a father who has a vision or a message, or basically he thinks God came to him and told him he has to kill these people that are parading around as people, but they're actually demons. And this movie goes a fucking million miles an hour to a million different places, but he recruits his two young boys who are like, I don't know, 5 and 8 or something like that, to help him kill these people. And it goes in, like I said, a lot of different directions. I don't want to ruin certain things that happen in this movie, but Frailty is fucking fantastic. Please go see Frailty if you haven't seen it. Next, we have the first Insidious movie with Patrick Wilson here. This movie is known for, some of the great jump scares, some of the great creepy things that happen. But it's also a story about a father trying to save his boy who's inflicted with the same curse, gift, whatever you want to call it, that he had when he was a boy that he, forgot about. And he has to go to all these different lengths and to all these different places to save his son from these evil forces. So it's another movie where, a father has to, summon up the courage to do what is necessary to protect someone in his family. So The First Insidious is a great movie. Some of the sequels, not so much, but this first one, I think, still holds up pretty well. Next, one of the best horror movies of all time. I'm talking about Poltergeist from 1982. And we got Coach here, Greg T. Nelson, who is just fantastic in this role, but his daughter's obviously, basically kidnapped by this poltergeist and these evil forces. And, what is he going to do to get his daughter back and save his family from this house where they moved the goddamn headstones, but they left the bodies? Just great. Craig T. Nelson's awesome in this movie. This whole movie is fantastic. Another movie I don't think gets talked about enough in the kind of the analog of great horror movies. Next up. All right, we got a double whammy here. We got Signs, and we got Mel Gibson, who is a father in the church, or he was until something happened. And he's also a father to these young children, including Rory Culkin here. But this is about aliens that come to a small town, and Mel Gibson has to protect his family and also learn, some more things about, what his wife saw as she was dying, and what it means. And he has to go on this journey as both a father to his children and as a former father to a church. And it's all about faith and all kinds of great things. And it's fantastically done. M. Night Shyamalan. And finally, we have a father who made the ultimate sacrifice, The Mist from 2007. I'm not going to get into the ending of this movie. If you haven't seen it, I would highly encourage you to, because it is a fucking gut punch. But this is Thomas Jane, who's fucking awesome, by the way. But Thomas Jane's a Frank Darabont movie. But Thomas Jane plays the father, and the mist comes, and there's some stuff in the mist, some kind of H.P. Lovecraft type creatures that is killing the whole town. And Thomas Jane has to make a decision at the end of this movie to not only save some other people, but save his son from suffering. And you see the fallout of that. So those are movies I think of, horror movies I think of on Father's Day. So let me know what I missed. Let me know what you guys think of when you think of Father's Day and you think of horror movies. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.